What is up, guys? Private Eye Russ here, and welcome to another episode of the Private Eye Russ podcast. I am the titular character of the Private Eye Russ podcast, owner, operator of a full-service private investigation and security consulting firm. We offer a wide range of services from corporate theft investigations, whether you're talking about material theft, embezzlement, or the dreaded intellectual property theft. I've got a great team of dedicated and experienced individuals who can set you straight. Criminal defense investigations, litigation support investigations with an emphasis on negligent security investigations. So we also, obviously, one of our bread and butter is our infidelity investigations, very sensitive subject. We don't handle those in a cavalier manner. We will set you straight and give you the answers you want and the answers you deserve. All right. So one thing I'm getting a lot of calls for are premarital or pre-long-term relationship investigations. If you want to understand the past of your prospective long-term or life partner, theoretically, reach out to us and we will give you a snapshot or actually a deep background look into what they've been up to. That way you can verify the individual in person in front of you is the person they claim to be. All right. And you'll have the opportunity to make an informed decision, which is all any of us should ever ask for. Finally, but certainly not least, I offer some personal services as well too that are not necessarily investigative services, but I do offer personal development coaching sessions, virtual, or if you're local or near my area, in person as well too. If you're a man and you're tired of being or feeling like a passenger in your life and you want to take the wheel and assume control and be the driving force in your success, reach out to me. If you don't want to be a wind-up toy, automaton, NPC that society and public schools seem to keep wanting to churn out over and over again, reach out to me and I can help you out for this and all these other services. And I'm adding new services all the time. And I'll make announcements as they become more solidified. Reach out to me at Russ, R-U-S-S, at privateeyeruss, that's privateeyeruss, at privateeyeruss.com, Russ at privateeyeruss.com, or alternatively, you can reach out to me at privateinvestigatorruss@gmail.com. That's privateinvestigatorruss@gmail.com. Alternatively, you can also reach out to me and send me a direct message on X. I'm on X every day, not all day usually, but I post something at least once or twice a day. So anyway, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. Is going to be a short video. This is a reaction video to a news report. This is a young woman who faced off against evil or potential evil, and she made it out alive. And so we're going to talk about what she did and what you guys can do or should do to keep yourself safe in the future. So let's go ahead and go into this. Fair use, fair use. Yeah, there we go.
A terrifying surveillance video shows the moment a young woman narrowly escaped a kidnapping attempt in St. Augustine, Florida. She's now speaking out with a message for women in the same life-threatening situation. Madison Scarpino is live with more on this. Madison?
Hello, Rich. 18-year-old Emma Marine's main
Shout out to Madison. Really good bone structure.
message to women is to never stay quiet and to always fight back. She says it was a normal shift for her last month at a Florida vape shop until a man came in. He kept going in and out of the bathroom several times. He eventually started.
I'm always suspicious of people with fish on their hats, man. He just looks like a shady character.
Grabbing a bunch of merchandise and then tried to leave. Marine says when trying to stop him, this is what happened.
He said, "What are you going to do about it?" And then I sort of froze up a little bit. And then he just pushed me out of the door and put me in a chokehold and dragged me out to the truck and tried shoving me in.
Now, a warning.
Okay, so she was working at a vape shop. Dude walking in, acting weird. One of the things I learned a long time ago from working is profile behavior. Don't profile how someone looks. You can get it wrong a bunch of different times. I know people have theories and they think they know what they're talking about. Usually it's a pretty pretty lazy way to go about things. Watch behavior. Okay, so she sees this guy. He's acting shady. He's stealing things. He's trying to walk out the door. Now, here's what I would say for people who work at retail stores. All right, nothing on those shelves is worth your life. Let me say it again. Nothing on those shelves is worth losing your life or being severely injured. I understand it's your job, and maybe you take it personally. Someone's trying to steal, and they're trying to play you. You take it personally. Okay, I get it. But the best thing you can do is report what you saw, call the police, and let the police handle it. She had no business confronting this dude who's trying to leave the store. She's much smaller than he is, and like physics play a big part in things. Okay, so she's actually lucky that he didn't seem that determined to put her in that truck. If he had been, things could have gone really, really poorly for him. But none of this stuff is worth your existence. None of this stuff is worth your life. Learn how to profile behavior. If somebody's acting shady, keep your eye on them. But you've got to be objective about things. Don't do things from a biased perspective. From a biased point of view, say, okay, I don't like this guy because he's wearing Levi's, and guys who wear Levi's, I just can't stand them. They're always shady characters. Or if they happen to be wearing a Breitling watch, because everyone knows that shady guys wear Breitlings, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's shady. So anyway, fair use. Let's keep going.
To our viewers, some may find this next video disturbing, but Marine's courageous struggle caught on surveillance has now gone viral. You see her fighting for her life and screaming at the top of her lungs for help. Marine says in this moment, she was terrified the suspect was going to hurt her. All she was thinking of was, I have to get away. And eventually, she did.
My parents had always taught me that whenever you're in any sort of danger, you always fight back.
Okay, so she fought and screamed, which was good. However, it could have gone a lot worse. All right, so now some of you don't know this, but I've got a few different black belts, and I've been a lifelong practitioner and learner and student of martial arts, as well as self-defense and combative techniques. Martial arts is not the same as self-defense. MMA is not self-defense. And I know, there's a lot of people that just want to do jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is good if you're going to be in a one-on-one fight. I can count the amount of one-on-one fights I've actually had. I've been jumped a bunch of times. Most people aren't going to fight you one-on-one, especially nowadays. Some of these young dudes, they don't want to go toe-to-toe. They're going to just jump you, and they're going to have a bunch of numbers. Jiu-jitsu is good if you got a one-on-one fight, but if not, then could be a problem. Now, could jiu-jitsu have helped her in this particular instance? Maybe it could have. Best course of action is stay out of the guy's way. If he's stealing something, call the police. If you have security, alert security. Let them handle it. But one of the things I think is really irresponsible that a lot of places will do is they'll teach women that are tiny that, okay, we're going to teach you how to take down a dude that's 250 pounds, bigger, stronger, probably faster than you, more durable than you are, and we're going to teach you some techniques, and with your magical kia, you're going to be able to take him down. That nothing could be further from the truth. They're selling a lie to a lot of people. Just like when I see an 8-year-old black belt, there is no such thing as an 8-year-old black belt. Your 8-year-old or 9-year-old or 10-year-old who has a black belt has a black belt in name only. They cannot defend themselves against an adult. They are not a black belt. All right, so I wish a lot of these instructors would stop that, but I get it. They got to make a living, and they want to sell you this dream that your child is this fighting, killing machine. Look, this is a small woman. She's lucky to be alive. She's lucky this guy didn't take her someplace else. But here's what I will say. I do agree with her. She did fight. She fought hard. She fought like a tiger. She kept screaming. But she fought to get away. I would like to have seen her put more action into causing a distraction or injury to this individual. Okay, what do? Strike the eyes, strike the throat. Everybody think the groin is a magical button for every man. Most guys are protecting their groins like their lives depend on, because it very well could. We've all been hit in the groin, and so we all instinctively protect our groin. The eyes, not so much. The throat, not so much. I've been hit in the throat really hard playing football, and literally nothing else mattered during the time that I was thrashing and holding my throat on the ground. You know what I mean? And so, and I easily could have just lost my life from that. So, it's not enough just to try to pull away. All right. So, look, some of you know I'm a licensed private investigator. Um, I'm also a licensed bail bondsman. I used to be a police officer. I have experience forcing my will against other people. I've also done a lot of bodyguard work, executive protection work, and some private security detail work. I've got a lot of experience forcing people to do things against their will physically. So if I'm trying to get somebody into a van and put a bag over their head or handcuffs on them or zip ties on them, first thing I'm going to do if they're not compliant is I'm going to club them upside the head. I'm going to hit him upside the head. I'm going to punch him in the stomach. I'm going to do something to take some steam out of him. Then I'm going to force him into there. So he didn't do this to her, which works in her favor. He's clearly bigger and stronger than he is. I don't know if he was on something. Maybe he was, loopy or whatever. Maybe he was off his meds, or maybe, he was on some sort of street medication. But if you're fighting for your life, it's not enough just to pull away. All right. So you have to give the other person who's attacking you something to think about. Okay. Now, what I will say to people, don't try to kick in the groin. If you're going to use a groin, it can be used. Don't kick, don't punch. Here's what you do. Grab a handful and try to crush them and pull them off their bodies. I know it sounds horrible. I know every guy that listens to that just kind of like, ugh. Trust me, men, women, doesn't matter how you win as long as you win. All right. So I would like to have seen some more of that. Ultimately, she did well, and by did well, she survived, and that's sometimes that's all you have to do, or that's all you need to do at the end of the day is win, and she won by surviving. Fair use. Let's see what else they did. Let's see if they caught the guy.
I hope this can show other women and young females like myself that you can fight back, and that it doesn't matter how small you are.
Police later arrested 31-year-old Theodore Tunitador.
Theodore Tunitador. Okay. All right.
Was initially stopped because he was driving a stolen truck, but he's now charged with kidnapping, robbery, and grand theft auto. And authorities are really praising Marine's reaction to the attack. They say because she fought back so hard and was drawing so much attention to the situation, she likely prevented this from having a much more serious outcome. Rich?
Absolutely terrifying video.
Okay, so she made a lot of fuss, and eventually he just let her go. All right, so so that's a win. All right. Here's the truth about being taken someplace. If someone's trying to take you someplace, no matter what the circumstances are, unless they happen to be law enforcement, all right, there's my caveat, unless they happen to be law enforcement, if you are taken to a secondary location, even if that secondary location is just that vehicle transporting you to another place out of sight, the odds of you surviving or ever being seen alive again just fell off a cliff as far as the odds go. Your chances at that point are slim and none, and Slim just left town. So here's what you need to do. At that particular moment in time, your job is to fight like a tiger and never, ever go to a secondary location. One of the countries I lived in, we knew that there was a significant threat of kidnapping. And so we all just made a pact. It's like, look, I'm not going to be taken alive. I won't even go into some of the things that were done to people. You guys can use your imagination, but once you get caught, I don't have any rich uncles that are going to pay a king's ransom, to get me out. And so if someone kidnaps me, they're kidnapping me because they want to make it. We knew this over there. They were going to kidnap us because they wanted to make some kind of political statement. And so our job at that point was go down swinging, but if you're taken to a secondary location, you're finished. One of these days I'll talk about a story I heard about years ago about an individual who actually fought off a professional kidnapping team and escaped with his life. So, but anyway, this young lady did well. I would love to see her learn some combative skills. Strike someone in the eyes, and nobody has to teach you that. Poke somebody in the eyes, strike them in the throat, however you have to, and give them something else to think about. Scream, yes. Scream, try to pull away, but add those things to the mix as well too. Otherwise, I'm not criticizing her. She did well. And everybody should learn how to fight. Honestly, one of the things I've done in the past, I used to teach martial arts. I've taught combative systems. I've studied a bunch of different combative systems. There's a difference between martial arts and combatives, two different things. So, in the same pathway, but different approaches. So, one thing I understand is this: that if you are going to be attacked, odds are the individual who's attacking you is either going to outnumber you or they're going to be bigger and stronger than you. And so, no one out there on the street is looking for a fair fight. They're looking for an unfair fight. Are smaller people, weaker people, more likely to be attacked? Maybe, maybe not. But if you're a woman, you should know how to take care of yourself. And one of the things I would say for women especially is understand how to use and when to use a force multiplier. Now, I'm not going to go into what you should use particularly because that's all comes down to individual choice. When I was married, I taught my now ex-wife how to use a blade. That's one of the things I studied a lot. And so the blade is a great equalizer. Why? Because it's not an impact weapon. You don't have to be strong to use a blade. It's a contact weapon. And I don't care how tough you are. If I touch you with that blade, your skin is going to part. Right? So that's just how it works. Anyway, so just be careful out there. Could she have avoided this by not trying to stop the guy? Yes. Yes, she could have. And again, I'm not being critical of her. Obviously, Monday morning quarterbacking. Would I have tried to stop this guy? Honestly, I've seen people shoplifting, not in places I was working, but I've seen people shoplifting, and people are like, oh, stop him, he stole this. I'm like, it's not my problem. I don't work here. None of this stuff on the shelf belongs to me until I pay for it. I don't think anybody's life is worth, your life is worth more than anything on that shelf is my point. And so I wish she wouldn't have done that in the first place. Then we wouldn't get this news report and I wouldn't be able to make this content, right? But I'm glad she survived. Hopefully she can get some instruction up in St. Augustine. It's such a nice place too, man. You don't hear about crime that much in St. Augustine. I would bet if they did a toxicology screening, the dude is probably high on something, stolen vehicle, walking into places looking like a zombie, trying to take stuff off the shelves, trying to grab women and stuff them in a stolen vehicle. Like, he had to be high on something, man. Anyway, this is your boy, Private Eye Russ. This was a short Private Eye Russ podcast. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. Please like, subscribe, share. You've got time right now. We haven't gotten to the 1,000 subscriber mark yet. Help us get over that. Share the videos, and hitting like doesn't cost you anything, but it does a whole bunch for the rankings in the video and for YouTube to send it out to more people. Anyway, it's your boy, Private Eye Russ. I will talk to you guys in the next one. I'm out.